Carl, of course, the festive period now well underway, and obviously a busy schedule as always, but I suppose coming into the sort of double header with Hartlepool and York on Boxing Day and New Year's, a bit of confidence with it, a couple of good wins behind you now.
Yeah, no, the two wins back to back can only help. They were convincing as well. Performance levels were good. Lots of goals, lots of chances created, but I still feel like we've got levels to go to. We've seen that in the second half at Ebbsfleet, but we're going to have to be at it from the off. We know we have to be bang at it to get anything from these games. It's the toughest period of the season as far as I'm concerned. Two massive games, biggest games of the season, and like I say, we'll have to be at our very best to get anything out of either of the games.
Yeah, and in terms of the festive period, obviously always a busy period and unusual in the sense of compared to the rest of the season with the games and the sort of training and things. But how does that period look like for you in terms of just getting the boys on the grass and I suppose getting a bit of information and things like that into them around those games?
Yeah, we've changed the schedule slightly, but nothing that'll disrupt the detail and the information that we've got into them with regards to Hartlepool. It's this time of year where players really need to sacrifice, show their professionalism, not too many mince pies, and come in and give everything for the cause. These are the moments as a professional where you really have to, like I say, sacrifice yourself for the good of the team and make sure that you are fully focused on the task, because the Boxing Day games are ones that the crowds, and the fans look forward to massively. There's a great feeling around the place, and you want to make sure that you perform and entertain your fans at this time of year. So there's huge responsibility on the players, and I'm sure they'll step up and enjoy the games.
Yeah, and obviously you mentioned Boxing Day there. You said on Saturday that you probably had a little bit of a mind towards that and the York game as well. But with Boxing Day coming up immediately, how are you looking ahead to that? Obviously you touch on there as well, always big crowds, especially with it being the most local game in the division as well. So a healthy away following always makes for a good atmosphere as well.
Yeah, I'm expecting Hartlepool to bring a good following. It's a great fan base. When I was there as a player, they're a fiercely loyal group of fans. They'll travel well in numbers, particularly when it's on their doorstep effectively in relation to this league. So they'll create a great atmosphere for the game, and it's a one that the players have to look forward to. It's a tough game as well in terms of what will happen on the pitch. The lads need to be bang at it, so I'm sure it'll create a great atmosphere. But in terms of the preparation and what we've got available, we'll look like as strong as we have been since I've came in. There's players now back in training that may not make the match day squad, but they are training and available. So selection is a bit of a headache, but it's obviously the old cliche. It's what you want as a manager.
With the weekend just gone as well, you mentioned selection headaches. Obviously, a new arrival in Liam Humble's getting his first sort of few minutes off the bench as well. I mean, you mentioned with Brids a little bit, but what is it about him that you feel like is going to add to the side going forward?
Liam's technically an excellent footballer. He's come from Altrincham. Obviously, he's a Salford player, but he's been on loan at Altrincham, who play a similar style. He's been in a similar role positionally at the base of a midfield. We're really like I say, from a technical point of view, but physically, despite not being the tallest, he's a powerful lad. You look at his data, I think he's one of the quickest in the team. One of his first training sessions, the sort of speeds that he clocks up. So he's going to be a great option in terms of being able to give him the ball in those deep areas to help the build-up, but he's also got the ability to drive through the middle of the pitch and carry the ball, which is obviously a rare ability for a deeper lying midfielder. So he's going to bring so much to the squad. It just makes it even more competitive because we have to reward the players who are playing well and have got us good results, but he'll certainly add that quality.
Yeah, and in terms of the team overall, really, how are things just sort of looking fitness-wise? Of course, Charlie came back and got some minutes on Saturday as well after he's been sort of out for a little while.
We're at our strongest, delighted to report. We had Kenton back in training today, Brandon Houndstrup back in training, Will McGowan back in training. Obviously the long-term absentees in Jacob and Greg and Tiernan, but I think it's probably as strong as we've been since I've come in. So we need to build those players up, though. Obviously having them back in the squad is unrealistic. However, it's not out of the question. But they've all trained really well today, come through it, and it's about building them up now. But the squad is a big one. And obviously with January around the corner, who knows what can happen, but we're looking in a really healthy place going into the game.